You're probably curious as to why I'm doing this. Now, it's quite simple. We're going to be talking about Honkai. Duh. Obviously.
Hey, you. You're finally awake.
Yes. If you're wondering on why does my voice sound so different, well, this is my actual voice comparative to my old headphones that I had. So, hi. I'm Kazuki, and if you're new to the channel, of course, like and subscribe, and turn that little bell on so you can know when I upload. But we're here to talk about Honkai. Now, Honkai has been going down a rough draft lately, and this is a feature off of my other video of the power creep situation of Honkai. So here we talking about Honkai again, about its power creep, but it's something completely different, and it's just for the hype and the new leaks that we got for the characters, Cipher and Hyacine. Now, what do these characters have going forward to multiple teams, especially for Cipher, for Acheron, and for Xiao? Will this mean that these characters will be unpower crept? I honestly think, yeah. I think that if stuck in a unison on how March 7th and how Facial worked, and if kept the same going forward, I generally think that these teams will actually be able to do something within Memory of Chaos or Popular Shadow. As a general sense, no. I don't really think that these two characters will be game changer, and especially that the upcoming Fate, the Fate collab, the Fate collab that is coming up. All right, enough about the Fate collab. We're here about the main topic, and that's Hyacine. So, what is she's basically going to be doing? What's her main role in this? And I would say that if you have a team that does self damage, as in allies that consume their own HP, it's like big help. Mostly because her combat style is focused on whenever an ally takes damage. So if you are having someone like Jinlu who is taking damage by using her E, aka her skill in this case, that really does help a lot. For Hyacine, it allows her to maximize her healing output while capitalizing her damage output as well. And her AoE capabilities, from just being a healer aside, also really does help, because whenever she takes that action, her Memo Spire will deal additional AoE damage based on the healing that she's done. And if you're constantly having a teammate who is self-harming, let's just say that, self-taking, damaging themselves, this will honestly help you a lot. Very crazy. Her flexibility only works with most teams comps, especially those that do damage in HP scaling. So Castress, Jinlu, Blade, you have all those characters. Cipher, a 5-star quantum character following the path of Nihility. What does this mean for old characters and the up-and-coming new character herself, Cipher? This means that she's a sub DPS. That's quite literally it. No, I'm joking. Okay, so Cipher is a 5-star quantum character that follows the path of Nihility, who inflicts the vulnerability debuffs on the enemies when she's on the field while damaging the enemies with reactions whenever she uses the skill. Additionally, she also deals a decent amount of damage through her follow-up attack, skill, and ultimate. So what does this mean for her in certain teams? Let's start off with the follow-up attack teams. Starting off with Facial, Robin, Aventurine, and Cipher. So of course you have Facial as your main DPS, Cipher as your sub, Robin as your support, and Aventurine as your sustain. Cipher's talent. So Cipher's talent is named the Hospital Dolo Sing. When there are no enemies in Patron state on the battlefield, Cipher immediately causes one enemy with the highest max HP on the battlefield to become the Patron. When using a skill and an ultimate, the primary target becomes the Patron. The Patron state only takes effect on the least target. Basically, if there is no enemies on the field that has the effect that she would be placing on the Patron state, she will selectively choose an enemy no matter what, whoever has the max HP. So if you were to kill an enemy already that had the effect on them, she would just place that onto the next person with the most highest HP. So I hope you're following all that. So now that we have everything else in set, in motion, I want to talk about just that one main thing, and it's her follow-up attack. I feel like, as for me, this is a good opportunity for Seychelles to actually manage to get like a new team or a new member on the team that can do some damage and support her. I'm not saying that March 7th or Topaz doesn't do a lot of damage, but having a new character who is obviously stronger because she is new on the way of like how Hoyo works, it is the best for that and for that cause only. I honestly do think that she is good with Acheron just because that, vulnerable ability that she has for her skill and, the follow-up attacks that can also ring out some good damage as a Nihility character that can also support with Acheron. But I still truly think that the follow-up team is still more favorable for Cipher than it is for the Nihility side for Acheron. But we don't know yet. The changes might happen and other stuff might go along with that prerequisite as well. So until we have new changes and other stuff that comes with it, we're just going to wait and see on how that would work for Team Nihility on Acheron's side. I know this wasn't my average video on Honkai. Usually I'd just do something crazy, make an edit and all that other stuff, but I truly wanted to talk about this character and how I felt about these two characters since I am pulling for their banners. I wanted to let you guys know that, hey, I wanted to show you that how I see it. This is how I see it. I see it as, hey, this is the two characters that I'm going to get, and these are the two characters that are very important. I didn't want to just sit by and think about, oh yeah, no, this is going to be an informational video 27 minutes long and yada yada yada, talking about leaked and information characters and stuff. But I truly hope it did give you enough information about the characters enough to like what teams you should build around though. But that's just how I seen it as, is just mostly that Cipher might be a follow-up character rather than another Nihility character that might be for Acheron. As going so far, I do think that she is good for Acheron nonetheless, because the follow-up attacks and on top of that the vulnerability that she can still in place is still a guaranteed vulnerability. Like, don't get it wrong. So if it were to happen where Cipher's follow-up attack does become like, a vulnerability debuff onto the enemy, I would be so happy for that. That'd be so cool. Acheron would be very strong in the team suit for her. But as to going forward, so right now she got nerfed and we're all seeing on how terrible the downfall is. So as we're waiting for that, I will be waiting on to see if Cipher becomes buffed or if we're just gonna have to be like, if this video can get to 20 likes, I'll play Wuthering Waves, and of course beat some of its game content. I'd say end game if we get to 150 subscribers. But I've already made the promise to you guys. If you're already new to this channel, I made the promise to, if we get to 100 subscribers, I will play Genshin from where I left off and beat its endgame content. But I hope you guys enjoy this video. If you haven't already, like, subscribe, and hit that little bell so you can know when I upload. And of course, as usual, I will see you with a good morning, good afternoon, and of course, a good night.
We gonna fight for our lives. Better fight for your life. We Waffle House, yeah, we based in the South. I hit you with a frying pan if you run in your mouth. We working minimum wage, we don't really get paid. You talking slick, lock the doors, you won't leave without a fade. These hands is rated E for everybody. Your uncle, sister, mother, little brother, and your shorty. We fight MMA, Taekwondo, and Karate. When you work at Waffle House, be ready to catch a body. If you work at Waffle House, you put your life on the line. We put our life on the line. Put your life on the line. If you work at Waffle House, you better fight for your life.